Good evening, everybody. This is Pasquale Majori here for another episode of Tuesday Night Talk, but this time we are talking about Tuesday Night Sports Talk. I am joined by TJ Schratz. I'm in Wheatfield. TJ, I believe, is in Williamsville. Am I correct on that assumption, TJ?
Yes.
Today is Tuesday, May 13th. Tomorrow is Wednesday, May 14th. It's a big day for us Buffalo Bills fans, not to mention tomorrow is actually my dog's birthday. Big number 5 for JoJo. Shout out to JoJo. But tomorrow is the day that we find out how our schedule is going to look from September until January when it comes to our favorite football team in the whole wide world, that being the Buffalo Bills.
Let's go. I figured the NFL might as well just release the Eagles schedule right away.
I'm already annoyed. I'm already annoyed because there's already been so many leaks and rumors and speculations that so far have not come true. I know we'll get into that shortly, but before we get started here, thank you so much for joining us here, whether you're watching us on delay, whether you're watching us live on Facebook or Instagram, live on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you so much for watching the program. You can find me on social media, Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter, at WNY Pasquale. You see my name down in the bottom left-hand corner there. You can add me on Facebook as well. I have no standards when it comes to Facebook anymore. Tej, where can people find you if they're so intrigued to watch you right now while we're doing this this program, as they call it?
You can find me at TJ Schratz. That's pretty much it.
All right. So, Tej, it's been, 3 months since we have been at Highmark Stadium. Just as a fan, mentally, where are you right now?
I'm ready to see the schedule, plan my trips, see where I'm going. I know where I'm going, but I'm going one time. And I think they've got a good offseason. I mean, you see what people said on a local affiliate here in Buffalo a couple weeks ago about the receiver. Took care of that a couple hours later. And they addressed the defensive needs during the draft. So I'm even keel, I would say.
Are you ready for the next season, or are you more focused on going to a Dave Matthews Band concert or whichever band you decide to follow around this summer?
No, I'm more worried about the Bills. We all know that. I'll make time for concerts when I can do that kind of stuff. But priority number one is the Buffalo Bills, and always will be the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, my New York Mets baseball team playing very well this year. I've been watching them maybe with one eye. I'm not quite ready to dive into the baseball season just yet. It usually doesn't happen for me until about June. You know, you get very excited that first week of the season, yada, 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 baseball's back. And then you realize, oh yeah, baseball is back. And there's still 150 some games left to play. So once June rolls around, I am going to really focus more on the New York Mets, take a trip down to Pittsburgh that final weekend in June to see the Mets take on the Pirates. And then I will be ready to not fully shift into Buffalo Bills mode, but I'm ready to find out what's going to happen with training camp. And then, we get to August and we're there.
Did you buy me a ticket for the Pirates-Mets game?
No, this is a husband-wife trip. Sorry.
Oh, you'll be stopping by Chili's on 79?
No, but I am going to have to. There's that Rudy's House of Subs that the Pat McAfee program talks about all the time. I really want to check that out. I have not had the opportunity to check that out yet, so that is on the list when we head down to Pittsburgh. Plus, there's supposed to be some amazing pretzel place that does nothing but pretzels. Are you familiar with that?
I know of Sarah's, which is more chocolate, but they involve the pretzels in it.
No, this is not a chocolate place. This is a pretzel place.
Right. But if you heard me, I said it involves pretzels.
Yes, but I'm talking about more specifically a pretzel place, not talking about chocolate-covered pretzels. I'm talking about straight-up pretzels. You know what I'm saying?
I want pretzels. I'm going to Tops or Wegmans and grab myself some sliders.
No, I'm talking about like legit soft pretzels where you're going to go get yourself maybe a side of mustard, maybe some cheese, and do it all up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there we are. There we are on Facebook.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, but I don't know.
What's so hard to understand about this?
I've never heard of it.
Well, I'm telling you that it exists, and I really want to check it out because I feel like I've been to a lot of places that I wanted to go to in Pittsburgh, but this is a place that we haven't had the opportunity to go to, and I definitely want to check it out now.
You want to check out Industry House. Industry Public House in Pittsburgh. They got a good pretzel.
All right, so you clearly have no idea what I'm talking about, so let's switch the subject.
No, I'm just saying. If you want a good pretzel, you go to Industry.
I'm not talking about going to a random restaurant and getting a random pretzel. I'm talking about going to a place that specifically specializes in pretzels in the greater Pittsburgh area. Now I'm going to have to look it up, and you're totally sidetracking the show because I wanted to talk about the Bills schedule, but now that I brought this up, I believe it's called the Pretzel Shop, and it's in Pittsburgh. 412-431-2574. Tuesday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I am looking at the menu here of the Pretzel Shop. Wow. They have breakfast sandwiches. They have pretzel sandwiches. They have some flavored pretzels. They have a number of dips. I am very excited right now. I just ate dinner, so I hope that my mouth doesn't water in the microphone and I sound unprofessional.
So pretzel sandwich. So soft pretzel and it's bread.
Like a pretzel bun, yeah.
Right. But I mean, what else would be on the sandwich?
Whatever you want.
Bread.
No. You throw a little ham, a little turkey, maybe some honey mustard on there, some Swiss cheese. You got yourself a sandwich. You got yourself a night.
It's a lot of carbs.
It is a lot of carbs, but we're going on a Saturday, so carbs are acceptable on a Saturday. Back to the subject at hand. Okay? Let's go to this. Tomorrow's the day. Once again, we talked about it. The NFL schedule release for 2025 happens tomorrow. What does TJ have circled on his calendar? What games are you looking forward to the most? Where do you plan on traveling? So definitely you'll be keeping an eye on tomorrow to find out where you're going to be going. Fill me in, TJ.
So for me, when I look at the away schedule, I've been to all of the stadiums that are on the away schedule. But with my recent roots living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, like Pat McAfee.
You lived in Pittsburgh? I never would have known.
Oh. I was wondering where my invite was once again for that Pirates-Mets game. So I guess we'll have to take that.
Not coming.
No. I'm really careful in Pittsburgh. I always talk about maybe this Sunday night game. I've been to Charlotte for the Carolina, but that's going to be at 1 o'clock. And, I think Cleveland could be a good matchup, possibly. But when it comes to the overall schedule, the away games, all the stadiums I've been to, but we always talk about when it comes to the home schedule. We look at Baltimore and how the playoffs ended up.
Playoffs?
You want to talk about playoffs? Yeah. And you look at Cincinnati, and they're here, but you lock up Higgins, you lock up Chase. Their defense still really isn't all that good, but it's one of those matchups on offense or over Allen. So we'll see what happens with the City. Yes, we like to just protect those games and then talk about the Eagles and the Bucks. You got your first place teams as well. I mean, there's different options, but when I look at the schedule, me personally, I'm looking at Cleveland on the away schedule, and then see where the Ravens match up. There's also talking about week 1 Sunday Night Football. And then there's also that talk about recently and the past couple of hours. I think things will come up week 9.
Yeah, that's something that got floated out there. As far as the away schedule goes, I definitely have the Carolina game circled, have some family down in South Carolina. So the plan would be to meet them up in Charlotte with a bunch of people from up here, make a long weekend of it. Hopefully, you said that game is most likely going to be on a Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. I'm not going to argue with you about that, but I would say it would be really, really cool if somehow that ended up on Thursday Night Football. That way you get into Charlotte on Wednesday, you got Thursday, Friday to hang around, maybe part of Saturday, come back on Sunday, you're good to go, and then you got yourself a nice little weekend of Carolina action there.
Carolina's a good spot. Just got back there for work, but it's a nice stadium. You got lots around it. It's logic there. I just don't see it happen. It's not really enticing massive. And Al Michaels 2 years ago changed about the schedule. And last year you saw a lot of more divisional games and games that have more interest. I think you'll see more something like that going in this year on Thursday nights. But I know why you say Thursday night, and I understand your logic.
Yeah, the Josh Allen factor. We could be any day of the week, and people want to see Josh Allen. So just some overall thoughts about what's going on. This is basically off season for NFL media, so expect like a lot of annoying posts about strengths of schedule and who won the draft and all that other nonsense and BS. My own personal opinion, I wish that the NFL media took an off season like the players and the teams do. There's just a lot of like crap out there. Like you mentioned, the Bills potentially playing in Ireland against the Steelers. We know that's not happening. The Steelers are now going to be playing the Vikings in Ireland. Some more stuff came out. You said the latest rumors, which are not that far-fetched. The Bengals coming in on Sunday Night Football to open up against the Bills. I don't know about you, but I am over Buffalo versus Kansas City. I am not excited about that matchup anymore. What about you?
I am indifferent. And I say that because obviously the networks, they get to protect a couple of games that they want on their networks. And I also feel like we're going to Buffalo, Kansas City, 4:25 p.m. And if we do something like Monday Night Football, maybe that would entice me a little bit more. But considering that networks can protect games and that there's a rumor going around, and I don't think there's much of a rumor, but I think teams are able to protect two games, I want to say. Did you hear something like that? Where they try and say, "Hey, schedule something like that," but no. We don't want that.
I'm not sure about the team. I know the networks have the right to protect certain games if they want to hold on to them. But I know like there's some stuff coming out too about the flexing. Like there's some new flexing stuff that came out early on in the offseason. So that might have something to do with it.
Right.
So we also have the trash Ravens coming to town, and we know that the Ravens always play better in the regular season than they do in the postseason. That's going to be a high anxiety game. That'll be one that people are going to want to see. The Saints coming to town, who cares? Buccaneers coming to town, who cares? Eagles coming.
Make it feel?
What? I don't care. No, it does nothing for me. Eagles coming to town. That's going to be a big matchup. So we talked about, are you on board yet with the new stadium with your tickets?
No.
You are not.
We are going to call back in June. Talking to a couple of people about seats. But I've heard PSL prices are jumping down, which I think you and I have both talked about. But I'm not squared away. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just trying to feel things out once we get that phone call.
Yeah, so my plan is, because of the PSL that we paid for the new stadium, is that I'm going to sell some tickets against my better judgment for this season, and then going forward to take that money and put it towards the PSL. Now, when I say I'm going to resell my tickets, I'm not looking to sell my tickets to some random stranger and try to get 3 times the value for those tickets. Maybe I'll get a few bucks over face value, depending on how much I like the person that I'm selling those tickets to. Plus, too, being a season ticket holder, I don't want to have the people around me be subjected to some stranger that might not normally sit in that section and doesn't know how to behave, and then I'm getting dirty looks for the rest of the season. You know what I'm saying?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So the way that I would approach that, I really, unless it's the home opener, not a big fan of Sunday Night Football, not a big fan of Monday Night Football. Thursday Night Football is fine. You got that Friday to recover, and then you springboard right into the weekend. But, I mean,
it's just like 1 o'clock game.
I do.
Like 1 o'clock game, and that's it. That's your ideal schedule. 16 games.
I'm an old school football fan. I love the Sunday at 1 o'clock game. I mean, I will go to I'll go to the games, but it's not ideal. I don't want to sound like a curmudgeon here. I love the fact that the Bills are successful. We had this conversation around the draft. Like, do you want the Bills to be good, or do you want the draft to matter more? Do you want the Bills to be good, or do you want them to play all 1 o'clock games? I know because of the nature of the NFL, they're not going to play the 1 o'clock games, but that's not ideal for me to go to a lot of these games at 8 o'clock at night. I will still go, but I might not be happy about it.
You're never happy.
All right, here we go again. Mr. Pretzel. Go to this place in Pittsburgh and get a pretzel. Clearly missing what I'm talking about when I talk about a place solely dedicated to pretzels.
There's many different spots in Pittsburgh for pretzels.
Any other final thoughts about the home opponents coming up in the 2025 season?
No, not really. I know there's some rumors about playing Miami week 2. I hope that doesn't happen.
In Buffalo or in Miami? That seems like they do that so much.
Right. I'd rather have Miami game be in December. That's also being selfish because I want to go to Florida during winter time. But I mean, when you match up the same week with the same team year, I think it's stale a little bit. Like what? I mean, Kansas City that talk about was always around 10-11 in the regular season. I mean, am I wrong or not?
Well, my only argument against playing Miami late in the season is I have a feeling they're going to be complete and total trash this year. So by the time that we play them, Tua might not be playing, McDaniel might be fired. They could just be an entirely whole different team. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, you want a cake game in December to get ready for the playoffs, but I would like that Miami game to mean a little bit more. So even if it isn't in September, maybe October, early November. I like the early November against Miami. I like those vibes.
In Buffalo.
In Buffalo, yes. Squish the fish all day long.
How do you feel about speaking of how you did the offensive trash? Look at Drake, look at Burrow, you got Diggs. They had so much space going in the offseason. I mean, I think they kind of sneaky to a degree.
I think by default, the Patriots will be in second place. I give the Jets absolutely no credit. They deserve nothing. They deserve no benefit of the doubt. They deserve no idea that they may be anything better than a third or a fourth place team. I think the Jets and the Dolphins are going to be train wrecks this year. Maybe the Jets will be a little more buttoned up because they may have the advantage in coaching, but who knows what's going to happen with their quarterback position. If they're, it's just like they had so much stuff go wrong the last 2 seasons. If they continue that way, that's easily in last place. And then maybe the Dolphins can get 4 or 5 wins and finish in third place. But I think for sure the Patriots are making the right moves. They have a great head coach. They have a developing quarterback, like you mentioned. And I'm not necessarily saying we have to worry about them yet. But once again, I think just by default, they're the second place team in the East.
Yeah. I mean, Drake had a good rookie year, whether you like the Patriots or not. So it's going to be interesting if he goes to a slump or if he continues to progress.
Yeah. Let's take a peek now at the road games for 2025. We talked about the home games. Obviously, you got your divisional games. We talked about the matchup against the Steelers. I may need to find a way to go to that game depending upon what time of year that is. Falcons couldn't care less. Panthers, we talked about that. Cleveland, whatever. It's a 3-hour drive. Texans, that's a game right there. They came back after beating us last year. They came back up near the end of the season. That's a game to circle on the calendar as well.
Yeah, I went last year. Texans, I'm curious about. I think they're up and down. I think they're a good team. But it wouldn't shock me if they're like 500 this year. I don't know. For some reason, I think about that team, and I'm like, eh. It's the furthest those guys have to travel on the away schedule, too, which is kind of good.
Yeah, I saw somebody else bring up that point as well and talk about that, which, yeah, I guess that's a good thing. So we shall see. Any crazy predictions? I think they ruled out. There's actually another rumor we didn't talk about. There's a chance that the Bills will be playing on Christmas Day. Thoughts, feelings, opinions on that?
I don't think that's going to happen now. They announced the Chiefs and Broncos. I think maybe we'll see something like Thursday night, 8 o'clock slot, if anything.
Sure.
But there was also talk, I heard, maybe them playing Sunday night, Christmas weekend, as compared to last year with the 49ers on Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, so tomorrow will be. Do you got to work tomorrow?
I will be traveling.
Oh, that's right.
So
You're traveling.
You're traveling on my phone and my laptop.
You will be traveling for work, right?
Yes.
Got it. So tomorrow, I know as much as I probably shouldn't and don't like to be doing this, I will be on X and Twitter all day looking for those leaks. Unfortunately, I hate the way this works. Most of the schedule will probably be established by 6 o'clock at night, even though they have the the NFL Network special. Whoever else runs the special at 8 o'clock on tomorrow night. So, unfortunately, most of the games will be known at that point, which is a downfall of this whole game. But it is what it is, as they say, as the kids say.
That's what the kids say nowadays.
That's what the kids say nowadays. That's what they say. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So what's your strategy to check out the news tomorrow?
Be on X, go to message boards, Instagram, other outlets on social media. Kind of piece it together.
So you are fully back on X now. Are you posting or just following?
Following for the most part.
Following for the most part. Got it.
Yeah.
And you can see TJ's handle down below there on the screen.
So let me ask you this. Pat McAfee.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
The one and only.
The one and only, right. Did you see that the Rich Eisen show will be on ESPN Plus starting this fall?
I did, and I don't know why Eisen wants to take a step backwards and go back to ESPN. He must be getting a lot of money for that.
I'm sure he is. It's just McAfee at the same time slot. So I just thought it was kind of interesting, even though it's ESPN and ESPN Plus, but just the same time slot. And I think Eisen and McAfee like each other.
They do, yes.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting to see the news about them too.
Although the McAfee show has been hinting around a little bit about some potential changes that may be coming. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Maybe they will. I mean, I listen to the show on a daily basis. So if I hear anything, I'll know all about it. But they did mention something a couple weeks back about some meetings they were having about the future of the program.
Do you think they're going to leave ESPN?
If there's a better offer out there, why wouldn't they? I'm not sure how long they were locked up for a contract for. That I don't know anything about that.
Right. I'm just thinking where else would they go for more money? Like Netflix?
Maybe they have like a better deal with YouTube. I really don't know. I don't.
No, right. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't know. YouTube, Amazon Prime. I don't know. Could be anything. Is there any other like up and coming networks that are adding content? I'm not sure. I don't watch. I mean, I watch so little television. You know what I mean?
I watch some sports obviously, but
yeah,
Peacock maybe.
Oh, there's another good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that. They do have live content there.
Right.
All right.
Because they have stuff with NFL and WWE.
Yeah. Well, I want to go eat dessert, so we're running out of time. So I wish you good luck and fun on your work trip tomorrow. Anything you want to promote or plug before we get out of here tonight, I should say?
No, I'm good. I'm good for tonight. Thanks for having me.
Where can people find you on social media?
They can find me on Twitter at TJ Stratz.
X, it's called.
And I'm old school.
Okay.
So we'll go with the X.
Yes, there we go.
Just for you.
All right. And you can find me, go to Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter, at WNY Pasquale. You see my name in the bottom there. Be my friend on Facebook. I'm not that picky anymore. I'll be anybody's friend. Not literally, just figuratively on Facebook. But thank you so much for checking out this episode of Tuesday Night Sports Talk. There should be a new episode of Give Me 20 Minutes this Saturday morning, probably around the same time slot as last week's show, 7:30-ish. Not sure what we're going to talk about, but make sure you stay tuned to my Facebook feed to find out what's on my mind, and then you'll know more about what I'm going to talk about. TJ, any final thoughts? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I want to Yelp review of pretzels.
I will do that for you.
Good. I appreciate that.
All right. We're out of time here for this episode. We will talk to you again very soon. Go Bills. Say it.
Go Buckles.